On today's episode of the NASM CPT Podcast with me, Richey, I explore how you are the client's inspiration. And we discuss the importance of who you are to the client. You are their motivation. And it could come across as cheesy today, but I love it. So we talk about a few things that we have to be careful of, not just who you are in motivation, but because our clients rely on us so much, we got to be careful of a few things that will help to shirk some responsibility and make sure that we stay on the straight and narrow, that we're always working with our clients to keep them focused, to keep them going forward because they rely on us for so much. Make sure that you like, follow, subscribe, and share with your fitness friends and family, and leave a 5-star review. Now, here's the episode. You are the client's inspiration.
You're listening to the NASM CPT Podcast with Richey, winner of the Share Care Emmy Award for Social Storytelling and the official podcast of the National Academy of Sports Medicine.
Hey, y'all, and welcome to the NASM CPT Podcast. My name is Richey, and today I want to point out something very important, that you are the inspiration for your clients. We are the CPTs, the certified personal trainers. We are the life changers. We are the game changers. We are the body changers. We are perspective changers. We change people's lives in many ways, and we make people fitter. We make people feel like they belong in a place where they oftentimes feel like maybe they don't belong. We provide a sense of empowerment to people as they come in to work with us. And we want to help them develop strength and to feel empowered to move forward and do things that sometimes they just didn't believe themselves to be able to do. They see it in other people, but they never saw that reflection on themselves. So it's a new perspective that we give them, and we want to help them develop their bodies, and we want to help them develop their mentality to support the change that we're trying to get them to get. Now, they came to us for change. They want change too. They want change in their body. They want change in their physique. They want change in their behaviors. They need to change more than just in their bodies. They have to change their behaviors. They have to change what they do and how they move and the commitment that they have. So it's not just a body change. It's not just physical that they come to us for. There's a mentality of change that we need to support. We teach them about their bodies. We teach them about the bodies that they have, the bodies that they are in, and the possibilities that those bodies have. What these bodies can do, what they're capable of doing that people just didn't know that their body was capable of doing, or maybe a dream that their body can do something like that. And we have to be very realistic when it comes to that. But we're going to support them. That's what we're here to do. We're here to support them through the hard times, be it in the gym or with their diets, or as we get to know and share our stories with each other, we get to help them and be a part of their lives in general. And we send them links for equipment and things that they can do on their own. And we're constantly with them, even when they're not with us in person, because our words are in their ears. The amount of times that I've trained people and they tell me what their previous trainers have said and what still sticks with them. And the things that when my clients are out and they're doing something and they go, and then I had Rick's voice in my ear, in my head, I could hear him saying, and that is a special moment. Those are moments where I think about when I'm doing things, and I think about old coaches that I had that inspire me to go, this is hard, this is challenging, but I'm going to keep going because this is what they pushed me in. I think about my father, who pushed me in a lot of ways to be a better person. And as I am trying to get better and I'm trying to get stronger, is there a voice in my head that supports me? And there are a lot of people who are that. For me, But it's cool because we get to be that for other people. We are the guides for those who need us, and we provide light on the journey that they have for their fitness and for their health and their weight loss and strength and muscle building and their longevity. And as the world seems to be focused a lot now on the wellness industry and how that correlates with longevity, it's important as you start to get older, as I laugh and I think about me and I think about the clients that I like to work with now as we work on longevity, we work on building strength to live better longer. When before, both for myself and for the people who I wanted to train, I was an athlete and I wanted to train athletes, and longevity be damned, not as important to me as being great. And then I wanted to train people who wanted to be great, who wanted to be the athletes, who were the athletes, the professionals, the college athletes, the ones that will help to bring me glory. And that's cool and all. But that's not even who I go after anymore. I go after the people who want to live better and live longer. The ones who realize that we are here to help them be great for themselves and their children and their grandchildren and the lives that they have and how well we can help them live those lives, not necessarily how great they can be at their sport. And there are trainers that are out there that do that, and we're here for all of it. That's who we are. That's who we are as trainers, as fitness professionals. And we also have clients who are already strong and that are already fit, who are already the athletes, who are already fabulously and physically fortuitous when it comes to their bodies. And they choose to train with us because they choose to stay strong and they want to focus on things that they wouldn't normally make themselves do. And they put themselves and their bodies in our hands because we study this and we focus this and we live this so that we can provide an additional bit of greatness to people who seek to be greater than their current version of themselves. And we're here to provide stability when it comes to that. So be on time, be ready, be reliable. I have more people ask me to help them find a different trainer because the client says that the trainer is inconsistent than any other reason. So be consistent. And what else are we here for? We're here to provide the gift of belief in, faith in, hope in our clients that they may not, that's just what they don't get at home. And they may not get from anybody else in their lives, but we provide that. We provide that. So allow yourself to be inspirational, allow yourself to be insightful, to be hopeful, because many of our clients rely on you to be that for them. And you imagine that if that's not what they experience in their lives and they've let it get away. They let their bodies get away. They let their mentality get away, that and they're doing self-flagellation and they're hard on themselves. But that does not lead to the change that is going to be needed to move forward and make that change. Because a lot of times this kind of external stuff doesn't create that change. We need the intrinsic motivation. And they want to come in and they want to be different. And they see you as the agent of change for that difference. So be that inspiration for them. Be that hope, be that life, that light, that vitality that they need. But also be realistic, because we're not here to blow smoke. We are here to provide real change and real results and meaningful direction that's going to help them get to where they want to be. And that's the reason they come to us. That's what they want from us. They want the hope of change, and they're willing to spend money on the hope of change. And they're willing to spend money with you because something about you, of all the people, that were there, the trainers that are in the gym, the people that they could have reached out to. You're the one they're coming to. What value are you providing? We're asking that you look to seek what that value is for them and go above and beyond. Because we know, as we look at real results, that we don't live in a dreamland. The work is real, the results are hard, and showing up consistently can be challenging. But you, let me say it again. You are the ones that keep them coming back. So please do not take that for granted. Let's take a little break on this. This episode of the NASM CPT Podcast is brought to you by NASM One, the membership for trainers and coaches. Members enjoy unlimited access to hundreds of career resources. Get the Edge app to schedule and program clients. Enjoy half off all certifications and specializations, access to free CEUs, and more. All of this for just $35 a month. Go to nasm.org/membership to learn more about NASM One. It's a big responsibility to do what we do. And we have to be careful not to pretend that we are something that we are not, because we are trying to be a perfect example for them to follow. And if anything, we've learned that oftentimes perfect examples are not easy to follow because perfection is impossible. It's impossible for us. So note to self, we ourselves, we are not perfect. I'm not talking about any one person in particular, or maybe one person in particular. I can't speak for everyone, but we do like snacks, and we like treats, and we like fries, and we like meats, donuts and cronuts, birthday cake, drinks, foods that are cheesy and greasy. And maybe not all those in one person, but we're not perfect, right? We like snacks. We like to live a little. And for those who are perfect, they have the perfect diet. That's going to be impossible for most people to emulate. And so as we try to pretend sometimes that I'm not attracted to sweets, and I'm not attracted, because the fact of the matter is that I can walk by one of those glass cases and look in and see treats, donuts, whatever. And some majority of time I look at them and I go, not interested, not interested, not interested. And sometimes before I even get to a place, I can't get one of those things out of my mind. Does that mean that I get it? Not necessarily, but it also doesn't mean that I don't get it. But I'm not beating myself up over it. We need to give ourselves the space to live. And we got to be careful not to judge, because, you live in a body as the trainer, in an environment and a space that helped develop you into who you are and the trainer that you are. And, I hope that you're proud of that. But our clients, they also grew up in an environment that shaped them, and maybe they're not proud of where they are or who they are in this moment right now. So it's very important for us to hold off, to lay off any guilt that's associated. And I've learned from being a trainer, I've learned from being a parent, that making somebody feel bad about the choices they make doesn't necessarily change their choices. It just changes whether or not they talk to you about it. So let's hold off on the guilt. It doesn't motivate nearly in the way that you think it may. So that's not motivation, that extrinsic motivation, that external motivation isn't a driving force that helps create meaningful and sustainable change. It's the intrinsic motivation. It's that drive that comes from inside that does. So it's not about us creating external guilt and shame motivations. It is about us taking what led them to show up, to be present, to come to us, to come to the gym, to lay down money and say, I want change in my life. and you find out what drove that change and what made you come forward, what you're going towards, not what you're running away from, and motivate to something. That toward motivation, not the fear-based, run away from based motivation. And as a trainer, other things to be aware of. I know it's easy to be on your phone and to get distracted while you're working with your clients, but be careful. Be careful that your breaks don't turn into 10-minute discussions about life and weekend plans and holiday adventures. And then that one session that's a 10-minute break turns into every session, multiple 10-minute breaks where we're not getting anything in and people are just paying us to hang out. And I don't mind being paid to hang out, but I'm not going to do that under the guise of being a personal trainer for multiple reasons, because there are other trainers and there are other people who are looking for trainers who are looking at me and they're judging me on my ability to train. And what you're capable of and what you are doing do not align. So what are your goals? What are their goals? I'm going to tell you right now, there's time. There's time for the chit chat and the hanging out, but maybe during breaks. And I suggest also setting a timer for those breaks, because we can get caught up in conversation. It's not what we're trying to. Well, maybe we're not trying to, but know that your clients are smart. That's a smarky way to say it. They're smart and they work against their own interests sometimes, and they'll try to get you talking and to get you talking longer so that they can get longer breaks. Don't fall for it, these sneaky snakes. We want to inspire them to want to push themselves, not to give them all the time, to know that all they have to do is ask a couple of questions and then we get talking. Don't fall for it. Keep being the inspiration that our clients need us to be, and be careful of the things that pull us away from being the inspiration that they need. All right, y'all. Thanks for listening. I appreciate it. Make sure you like, subscribe, share with your fitness friends and family. If you want to reach out to me, you can hit me up on Instagram at dr.rickrichy or email me, rick.richey@nasm.org. Y'all keep inspiring people to fitness. Thanks for listening. This has been the NASM CPT Podcast.